Welcome to Doak Campbell Stadium, and you might as well get used to the sound you're hearing. The Seminole War chant is going full throat. This matchup today, part of the lifeblood of the sport. A rivalry game where the results will be remembered for a lifetime. As we'll see the number 3 team in the country, the Miami Hurricanes, taking on the 11th ranked team in the land, the Florida State Seminoles. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollock and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. And the Seminoles will get us underway with the opening kickoff. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So the Miami Hurricane offense will take the field to get things started. The flash, the style, the swagger, these two really define an era of great college football, and it's always fun to see them square off.
So well put, Reese. I mean, 2 flashy programs, and when they're rocking, they're rocking. The state of Florida's rocking. Everybody's wanting to go to Miami and Florida State. This is a big one, Paul.
Yeah, and David, you and I can appreciate this because we were playing back in the day when these 2 programs really had it rolling, when they had so much NFL talent and speed on the field, it seemed like each and every year. And this was a game that always seemed to determine the national championship picture at the end of the year.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going and handing the ball.
This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. He's out past the 35. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down.
I love this play call. You want to get your playmakers the football in space. What a creative way. This little push pass by the quarterback. Get into the receiver's hands quickly and let him go make yards.
Looking to throw, it's Hodges. Takes the easy completion. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
You know, you got to be careful as a QB throwing to your running back in man coverage. If there's a linebacker draped all over him, then that ball's not going anywhere. You just saw it right there. Better play by the defense.
Second down coming up. He's looking to throw. Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. And the pass is intercepted. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Well, statistically, this defense is not one of the better units against the pass. They're trying to change that here today. What a great job tracking the ball down, making a play on it, stabbing it out of the air for a big interception early. That should be massive for their confidence.
Here comes the offense on first down. Use the play fake, now to throw. Just a short pass to the tight end. And that defense pushing him out of bounds after a short gain. This series is littered with Florida State heartbreaks in close games, but the last time they met, it was the Noles pulling out a close one.
Florida State found a way to get it done. If you can not involve the kicker a lot of times in this series, things will go well. But they executed. They made the plays they needed to. They got one in a row, Palmer. Can they get 2?
And, David, at the end of the day, it was just Florida State that executed better. They made a few more plays, a few more explosive plays, didn't make the same mental errors, and that's why they won that game close.
Crosses the 30. He's got away. And this defense is a half a beat behind. They just can't quite keep up. They've got it down to the 21.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to stop this guy. They better rally to the football and get multiple hats because he is not easy to bring down.
Floats it out in space. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And the Noles are in the red zone. Back to pass, it's Bush. Pocket starts to collapse. Just too much heat that time, and they knock him down at the 31.
Awesome job by the defense. Not only getting the fast quarterback on the ground, but understanding what he wants to do. He can take off. I got to make sure I got good pursuit angles, and I got to make sure I build rails. I can't let him outside. I got to keep him in the pocket. He tries to get outside. They get the sack and get the huge loss on that play.
Now it looks as if they'll settle for the field goal try. And it's right down the boulevard. And the first points of the day come on that field goal. So they were able to put up a 3-spot on that last drive, and now the kickoff team out there as they prepare to put boot to leather. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10, and the returner will be knocked down. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed it.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions. But I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did in the first part of that drive, what made me successful.
I agree, David. Just turn the page if you're a quarterback, right? On this drive, you did a lot of good things there leading up to that pick. Forget about it, move on, play the next play.
They'll throw it on first down. Quickly complete.
Really good offenses are able to attack short. You've got to be able to attack the whole field to make you honor that underneath part, then the intermediate part, and then you take shots down the field. This will loosen up some shots for later in the game.
On second down, he'll let it fly. He's looking deep. He makes a grab, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Kane. And the extra point is good, and it's a 4-point lead. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, let's recap that ranked-on-ranked matchup that has just gone final. Clemson had an impressive showing there in Death Valley, winning this one by double digits, although it felt like it could have been more. Somewhere even Trevor Lawrence is impressed with this one. Really unexpected outcome in this ranked-on-ranked matchup. The type of loss, guys, that'll get the attention of even a good football team.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. This offense has a second down play. The give to the tailback. Slips one guy, now he's loose. He's off to the races. Tackle is made, but not until he gets the first down.
We've seen it from this running back, too. There's a lot of ways he can make you miss. Bottom line, this defense has to do a better job game tackle.
Yeah, just hard to bring down. Just physical, runs through people. This is a guy that defenses hate playing against, and you see why. So many yards after contact.
And the pressure was in his grill in an eyelash.
Well, the Miami linebacker shows you his speed on that play. And when I talk about Miami linebackers, it is a bit of a sore subject for me. We played against the Canes in the Sugar Bowl my senior year in college. I got hit multiple times by multiple Miami linebackers and spent multiple days in an ice tub post-game.
Great job by the defense winning those early downs. Now you get them in a predictable situation. 3rd and long. You bring in more DBs, more speed, more fun blitz packages. You get to have a little fun, go get the quarterback.
On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Flushed out of the pocket. And the quarterback was trying to extend the play, and the defense brought it to a close.
Number 16, on to kick it away.
And that is how a punter helps out his defense, pinning them deep in their own territory. They'll be able to get off one more play before quarter's end. Give to the single back. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the second quarter. We've reached the end of the quarter, and Miami is on top. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. And they've swapped into the field, and we'll get it going in the second. They've got them pinned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. Looking to throw, it's Hodges. Quickly complete. Just what the doctor ordered to get away from the shadow of that goalpost and pick up a first down at the 23.
If you're going to be a quarterback in the Heisman race, you've got to win games and you got to put up big numbers, and that's exactly what this guy has done all season long. Top 10 in the nation in passing yardage, and he's the biggest reason why they've been winning.
That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down. Less than a yard to go to pick up the first down. Leaves it with the back. And he surges up to the 36-yard line, and they'll move the chains.
This running back in the Miami backfield is deadly because of his speed. He's so elusive. You get the feeling like he could score any single time he has the ball. He gives the offense a lot of balance, but he gives them that home run ability, too.
Got it in the middle. It's Smith. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2. Deep in the season, that crisp air all around you, and this feels like a must-win game, guys.
This is a game that will impact the college football playoff. It'll have conference championship implications, and it'll have bowl game implications as well. David, so much riding on the line in this one.
And you can feel it, man.
Going over the top. And it's incomplete, going for the massive explosive play instead. They're looking at a 3rd down. 6th play of the drive coming up. On 3rd and short, just trying to get enough for the first down. And excellent vision to find running room there and make a really good pickup before the defense put a stop to it.
And that is exactly why you stick to running the football. Haven't had a lot of success, but boom, you pop one, right? That's what you got to do. You cannot become one-dimensional and just throw the football every down. Love the offense, sticking to the run. Nice job getting the first down.
And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one.
Defenses have their hands full with him. They just give up a big pass there for a first down, but it's not just the arm you got to worry about, it's his legs too. This guy's top 10 in the nation, total touchdowns scored, and that's why he's in the discussion for the Heisman Trophy.
Trying to cap this drive with the pass. With the catch, it's Harris. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Miami! If you're able to move the ball in a drive like that, the most overrated stat in football would be field position.
Agreed, and I think confidence is big right now after that last drive. To be able to flip the field like that, not just do it, but go down and score a touchdown. Running and throwing. For this offense now moving forward in this game, that last drive is going to pay big dividends.
Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
Incomplete, and they tried to catch him flat-footed on first down, but the defense was ready. They go to the ground. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, good call by the defense there. They dialed up blitz into that running play, and the linebacker able to make the stop.
To the air. It's Bush. Getting some heat. What a complete disaster. What a terrible decision to run that far backwards and take the safety. So after taking the safety, they'll line up for a free kick from their own 20.
The return is brought down at the 39, and the Miami offense will take over.
And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. That last drive really productive. David wound up with a touchdown. They'll try to do it again.
Yeah, so I don't expect this offense to change too much, Reese. They had a great drive. They got the touchdown. Everything working. I would expect them to keep pushing this ball downhill.
And just
he hurls one deep down the left side. And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play. These two have storied traditions in the history of the sport, but in the not-too-distant past, Miami actually considered giving up football, and Florida State was an afterthought.
A lot of people forget back in the day when Miami was in the Big East, right? And Florida State was in the ACC. This was kind of an interconference battle every time they played. But no doubt, David, this game just holds so much more significance to both programs.
Both in the state of Florida. Florida State, Miami, the uniforms are so great. The lineage, the history of the players. So it does. It feels like this rivalry's been playing a lot longer than since 1951.
They'll snap this one from the 42. It's 1st and 10. With jet sweep pass. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
I like offenses being creative. I'm not sure if that was the best place to call that play. I think this offense needs to think about just doing things a little bit more by the book. They've got a lot of good playmakers. You don't have to reinvent the wheel this early in the game.
They keep attacking through the air, trying to get to him. And that pressure just engulfed him. A sack for this defense.
This is a good sign for this defense. The rate they were going, not touching the quarterback, him already having 2 touchdown passes in the first half, this was not going to be a fun football game to watch. Now they're turning the tide a little bit, getting a little bit of pressure, getting a sack.
Going for the big play. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in. And the Canes will call on their punt team. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. Couldn't get away from that cover team, and they've got him down at the 23. The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. Not a lot of time left here in the half. Let's see if they can cut into this lead.
And this drive isn't a must score, but, man, you look at the scoreboard. You're down 2 scores. Jesse, you got a good up.
And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. These DBs going to give a little cushion. To the air, it's Bush. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. Just a solid stop by this sophomore. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. One back in the backfield, and they'll give it to it. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker. The defense uses their 2nd timeout of the half as they try to get their act together. 4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. Here's another opportunity, Jesse, to stretch out this lead after punting last time.
I think it goes back to your playmakers, Reese. I think it's finding the guys that have been working for you earlier on in this game and getting them the football.
And there's obviously no need to panic. I mean, think about it. You got the lead. You got the football. You got to be smart with the football. Make your plays. Put a good drive together here.
Trying to make magic on the scramble.
Well, you're making a positive out of a negative. And that time, quarterback, nice job buying time. He's trying to throw the football downfield. Nothing there. So instead of throwing it away and getting the incomplete, just get what you can get and make this next down more manageable.
He's back to throw on 2nd down. Going for the big play. He caught it. Takes it to the house. Touchdown, Hurricane. They'll try to tack one more on their score. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. So here comes the kickoff after the touchdown, and the last thing you need right before the half is to give up a big return. And he's going to try to return this one. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Leaves it with the running back. Finds just enough daylight to work his way up to the 19-yard line. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Guys, between the coaches who have matched wits in this game and the players and the unforgettable moments, Miami, Florida State is must-see TV, and today is no different. And we have to start this halftime breakdown by addressing the play of this elite wide receiver. This is clearly a young man who, once he's finished playing on Saturdays, he's going to be playing on Sundays. The kid has different gears. He has a knack for finding gaps in the defense. And I can't remember a college player with that kind of catch radius. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how the battle between Miami and Florida State plays out.
The Hurricanes will kick it away to start the second half. And he's going to bring it out of the end zone. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. They come into this third quarter with a lot of work they need to get done.
Yeah, and it starts with this possession. And I'm going piece by piece. I know this is coach speak and very simple. I score. I get a stop. I score. I can get back in this game, but it's got to be one drive at a time.
It's going to have to be, but I think the mindset offensively is we're probably going to have to score every time we get it because our defense has been struggling. They have not been getting a lot of stops. So this is a critical drive here for this offense.
Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few. The Noles racing to the line in a hurry-up. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line. The Seminoles will send out the punt unit. 3 and out and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. He gets it away from his own end zone. A fair catch is called for and made just across the 50-yard line. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. Line gets set, first down. They'll run it behind the big guys on the left. At the 35, he's open. He's loose. Touchdown, Canes! And the route is on. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive.
That makes the score Miami 30, Florida State 3.
He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start it with the first play. You need to be successful and productive on that first play, and it gets you in less predictable situations.
No doubt, too. And don't you just feel like there's a little bit more sense of urgency on this drive? It just feels like they've got to be able to put some points up on the board here.
They're trying to get to him. He's got his man. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. They're setting up the screen. They play that screen nicely. He tried to find his way to the marker, but it'll be fourth down. The Seminoles send out the punt unit. He's getting a lot of work. Fourth time he's punted tonight. Perhaps feeling that coverage coming, signals for the fair catch and makes it at the 25. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. Looking for a productive play on first down. Lost one deep down the right side. And it was worth going for a chunk play, but the long pass is incomplete.
I understand the quarterback wants to get this dominant wide receiver the ball as often as possible, but I wouldn't try to get it to him in double coverage. I think you have to let the defense's coverage dictate who gets the ball. There was somebody else open on that play.
Keeping it on the ground with the running back. Surges across the 30, out to the 32, a 6-yard run. He has 89 yards rushing, and that should be no surprise. He's been among the nation's elite all season. called a 3rd and short from their own 32 to keep this drive alive. Looking to pass, it's Hodges. Using his feet to buy time. Fires to the tight end. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the first down.
And an early completion for this dude, but you'll see a lot of that. I mean, he's been unreal this season. Like, spreading the football around, multiple guys. Every game you look up, he's putting up huge numbers. This offense is built around his ability to throw the football, and that's why he's one of the best in all of college football.
Slings it. Complete to the left. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains.
And how about the year he's put together? I mean, he is in the top 10 in passing in college football, obviously. And obviously, they're talking about him for the Heisman. But just a guy you've been able to trust, a dynamic passer, throwing the football all over the yard. This team has been built on him, and he's had an unbelievable...
He caught it! Touchdown, Miami! And the stomping has commenced. The Hurricanes continue to gain strength, and they have built a lead on the Noles.
I think that speed from Miami is really starting to show itself here in the football game, and it doesn't look like Florida State at this point, David, can keep up with all of that athleticism.
There's speed and swag. They got it going now. They got the confidence going. And when Miami gets the confidence going, it is tough to beat. Florida State's going to have to make something happen and make it happen fast.
Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. That last drive won't go on the highlight reel after ending in a punt. They'd like to be more productive this time, David.
And I think this offense has to be a little bit more balanced. Find a little balance between the run, Jesse, and working in that pass.
And I think, too, David, it's just going to take a spark. It just takes one play to get this thing picked up and going.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. And they try the middle of this defense, and that is not happening. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Right back to the well. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, and this has been tough sledding. All right, this offense has really struggled to move the football, and this game's all but over. But here's the thing, man. Thank God you don't play this defense every week. And let's continue to work it.
Pass on the way. It's picked off. Oh, you could just feel it. He wanted to make that a big return, but his offense will come out and take over at the 44.
As a quarterback, you've got to give your receiver an opportunity to make the play. You've got to put the ball on his body. And that throw gets away a little bit from the QB, and that leads to the tip and the interception.
On the move is the 30. And it is a chunk play, a huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end.
Yeah, and obviously this offense has had their way, getting the huge lead. And now, when you know it's a running situation later in the ball games, you're still getting pounded. This defense has to step up at some point and be a lot more physical.
D coordinators down the road that have to play this offense, man, they're going to have nightmares because this unit has so much speed and so much skill. At running back, receiver, tight end, the quarterback making good decisions, it is so tough trying to stop them and prevent explosive plays.
It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. This is a designed run. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down. The offense threatening, close to the end zone now with a new set of downs. Touchdown, Hurricanes! And the pummeling has started. Ready to try the point after. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
That makes the score Miami 44, Florida State 3.
And he'll return it and try to get behind his blockers. And good work by the coverage team to knock down the return man. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. Power football with the run. And they try to run inside, and there is nowhere to go.
Great team defense on that run defense. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Trying to make that rush think on the draw play here. And he was able to pick up a few yards on the ground, and the clock has run out here in the third. We've reached the end of the quarter, and Miami is on top. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. I guess if you're an optimist, the stage is set for a massive fourth quarter comeback. Now facing a third down as they line up after the break. Back to pass, it's Bush. Zings it complete to the right. Excellent job working through the air. They're finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down. And the Seminoles come to the line with a fresh set of downs.
Let's go.
He's looking to throw it. Got his man quickly.
You just get the feeling this defense is going to make it hard on them, right? They've got the lead, it's late, and they're going to try to tackle everybody inbounds. Offense is going to have to really work for this and be smart. You got to attack the sidelines. You got to throw first downs. You got to keep this thing moving vertically down the field.
Going up top. Snags it at the 30 and still running. Touchdown, no! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
And this has been a rough day for this offense, and finally, some good things to happen. Build some momentum maybe for the future. You know, that's the way the coaches spin it when you're getting beat up and you're getting destroyed. Like, let's find something for the future. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep working. This team's done that, put some points on the board, so it's not all bad.
Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. Line gets set, first down. Looking to move it through the air. Trying to beat the D deep. Reels it in down the left side. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped. Might as well try to punch them while they're reeling. You get one huge play to set it up. Now it's 1st and 10 inside the 40. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver and different ways they were going to try to get him involved. Everybody on defense on the same page, playing together. I love it.
Offense gets set for second down. Setting up the screen. They finally get him stopped, but what a good job by that front wall to set up the screen and create some lanes for their running back. From the 17-yard line, threatening to score on 1st and 10. Quarterback on the keeper. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
And when these quarterbacks run these zone reads or read options, whatever you want to call them, they have to put their eyes on a certain defender, and they're reading him. And basically, you can't be right. That's what makes it so hard to defend, because if you do one thing, he's going to do the other. You do the other thing, he's going to do the other. So, good luck stopping.
We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense is that much closer to salting away a victory. The handoff keeps working on that clock. He's there to make the stop, but not before he sets up this offense 1st and goal from the 7. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. He'll keep it himself. And you can forget running in the middle against this defense.
Listen, the offensive coordinator's best friend in the red zone is the running game. Make guys commit near the line of scrimmage so I can throw behind. This defense is good, but I'm going to challenge them. I'm going to try to be the more physical team. I love the play call. I think you keep...
Touchdown, Canes! And the punishment has been extended. That's what finishing the deal looks like. Build the lead in the 4th quarter and close in on 11 straight victories. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown.
51, Florida State 10.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. This has been a really disappointing performance, David. No question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David. But I'll say this, if you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You've got to lock in. You got to take the week of practice very seriously and find those positives that you can build on, David, your job.
And you see so many smart wide receivers, so many smart tight ends nowadays that they know where the holes in those zones are, and they work with their quarterback, and they find them, and they sit down in them.
And the defense gets to the quarterback. He is a menace rushing the passer, career sack number 20.
I mean, some people just have a knack for getting to the quarterback. What a great job throughout his career. Getting there, getting him down.
Intercepted. Didn't let him get loose on the return, but he'll take it as they have the ball at the 47.
The number one objective for a defense is to make the offense one-dimensional. Well, when they're trailing by this much late in the game, they're one-dimensional. They have to pass the football. We can bring more speed on the field. You see it. We know you're throwing the football. Nice break on the football. Nice interception. This one's almost over.
No matter how much college football changes, realignment, all of that kind of stuff, rivalries are consistent, and winning rivalry games, well, that's just the best.
Because they hate each other so much. So you take the field against your rival, and you're able to put forth a performance like that. That is worth its weight in gold, David. Unbelievable effort here by the winning team, and bragging rights now for a while.
Bragging rights for a while. It's a fun thing to be able to accomplish. Now we also got to take in the next couple games, because this is always, there's a letdown that naturally happens after these big rivalry wins. We feel like our chest is poked out. We got to look on to the next game, focus in on this next one.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.